ahead and read that for you right now. It is Wednesday, the 18th of June, 2014, and I welcome you once again to the news, the real news. You know, I may not have a suit and I may not have a $1 billion studio and I'm not reading off of a teleprompter like a robot, but I know what I'm talking about, and I'm not just getting my information from people who tell me to read what I'm seeing and shut up. I can look at what I'm looking at and discern for myself whether it is real journal, whether it's real journalism or it's not. And what I would like to say is that most of the time when you see stuff on the mainstream media, that is not real journalism. That is propaganda. It is all meant to get you to steer toward their agenda. So, anyways, regulate sex. Cali libs now want to control your boinking. And yes, this guy actually wrote boinking. Posted on June 6th. I have this article up and it is ready to go. In an effort to prevent rape on campus, a new bill in California would require students to give verbal or written consent before sex, and it also requires that there be ongoing consent throughout the encounter. What can possibly go wrong? Breitbart reports. A newly amended bill from a California lawmaker would require college students to stop in the heat of passion and establish verbal or written consent before having sex anywhere on campus, reports LA Weekly. Are we losing our minds? How about you wait until you're married and have sex? What the hell is LA Weekly telling your college students to have premarital sex for? You want to know why so many people get divorced? Because the passion is gone after they get married because they were fornicating before they got married. Yeah, I know, that sounds like... But that's a real statistic. 100% of people who get divorced is because all of the passion was gone after they got married from them just having sex all the time before they got married. There's something bad that happens when you do that. You know, God isn't the party pooper. He isn't the guy that rains on your parade as much as he's the guy that's just looking out for you. LA Weekly is out of their minds. They're trying to tell your college students to go and have sex on campus now. That's ridiculous. SB 965 or SB 967 amended last week by State Senator Kevin De Leon, Democrat of Los Angeles. No doubt about it. No surprise there. Would mandate that college students obtain an affirmative and unambiguous and conscious decision by each participant. By each participant. That is very suggestive. That it doesn't have to be with two. It could be with more. Wow, to engage in mutually agreed upon sexual activity. Well, isn't that the way that it's always been, Jack A? Because it's always been by consent. If you're not having sex by consent, then it's called rape. And to be all honest, if you're manipulating young girls that are not 18 years old, then that's statutory rape. You're raping them even if they give you permission, because they don't know any better. Their parents are still raising them. And that's messed up to, like, you know, that girl's going to have resentment toward you later on in life. She's going to be like, wow, that guy didn't really love me, because if he did, he would have waited until we got married to start doing this, and he would have, like, respected my virginity and held it as a sacred thing. But you know what I mean? Like, now LA Weekly's saying, hey dude, they're trying to... I mean, this is common sense anyways. You have to have consent but when you have sex in the first place. Hello, is common sense like a rare thing nowadays among people, or I don't really understand how people can be this retarded. Excuse me, I don't mean to be derogative toward retarded people. They're awesome, you know, but I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Like, that's an inefficiency that is an incapability to that is just, you cannot think right, dude. You have something wrong with your thinking. Obviously there is a problem, he said in the report. SB 967 will change the equation to so the system is not stacked against survivors by establishing an affirmative consent policy to make it clear that only yes means yes. We need bills now for this. Laws are never going to fix our problems, you guys. When it comes to moral issues, laws will never fix your problems. We can write a bajillion laws so that we can all walk straight and so that nobody has a crooked toenail. But you know what? It's never gonna be realized, because even criminals, my friend, even anybody who just doesn't care about law isn't gonna follow the law. Especially when you look at the television and it's like fun and it's trendy to break the law. It's fun and trendy to be totally brainwashed and just act like a all day. I mean, when I look around, I see SpongeBob walking around everywhere. Everyone's like SpongeBob today to me. It's like I'm walking around and everybody's just about yucks and having a yuck here and there. Like everything's a yuck. Like ha ha ha. Even if you fall and you fall on your face and your teeth go flying down your throat, people will have something funny to say about it. It doesn't matter anymore how in need people are, or how hurt people are, or how it's all about getting some kind of a laugh out of everything. And it's just dude, stop watching TV if that's how you are. People do not like you. I guarantee you that. People like me cannot stand being around people like you. You need to have to take something seriously once in a while. You have to want to talk about something deep and philosophical once in a while. Use your brain. It's not all about ha 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 ha. You know what I mean? It's not about that all the time. We can have fun, we can laugh, but it isn't about that all the time. There is a time to weep and there is a time to laugh. There is a time to mourn and there is a time to rejoice, or something like that. I don't remember how that goes, obviously, but that's kind of the gist of it. There's a time for everything. And it isn't our job to be like SpongeBob 24 hours a day, okay? I used to like SpongeBob when I was younger. I used to think it was a cool cartoon and whatnot. I'm not saying anything bad about SpongeBob if your kids watch SpongeBob. I understand that that's entertaining to kids. But when you're an adult and you're acting like SpongeBob, you ought to slam your head against the wall and wake up. Wake yourself up, dude. According to the language of the bill, consent must be ongoing throughout a sexual encounter and be revoked at any time. The existence of a dating relationship between the persons involved, or the fact of past sexual relations between them, should never by itself be assumed to be an indicator of consent. This is common sense. This is common sense, people. We don't need bills for this. Mark Neal writes, a newly amended bill from a California lawmaker would require college students to stop in the heat of passion and establish verbal or written consent before having sex anywhere on campus. Still won't be good enough. The next step in the process of criminalizing men, and it is men, women won't ever get charged for failing to get consent. Just look at how drunken sex is viewed. It is to continue pushing the ongoing consent element, which invalidates getting even written consent beforehand. The only way to prove your innocence, and that's what it's coming down to, a reversal of presumption of innocence, is to video record the entire encounter, and that too is illegal. There is absolutely no legal means of protecting yourself. It is a war on men. When women call the cops on you, you go to jail, not the woman. Even if you're the one that calls, that would be kind of a wimpy thing, I think, if a guy called the police because his wife was beating him. That would be kind of funny. But you guys, dude, this is all built by design to discriminate against men. It is not good for you to be a manly man that says what he means, talks his mind. Because what it means to be a man is to be a giggling idiot all the time. Be an arrogant, know-it-all jerk is what a man is supposed to be. Because the sitcoms are the ones that they portraying to you what a man is supposed to be. An idiot. A giggling moron is what a man's supposed to be. So if you act like a man that eats his meat and, he eats everything on his, he's a meat and potatoes kind of guy. He's ready for a fight. You come into my house uninvited and you get beat up. Well, then that's not what the society wants. They want you to be a sissy. They want you to be a wuss. They want you to just roll over. They want you to just put your thumb in your mouth, bend over, and take everything that people give you. And all while the gangbanger culture is being promoted on everything. Why? Because it's to create terrorism. So that law-abiding citizens are always being terrorized, and then you get domesticated, and then you get Stockholm Syndrome, and then you start giving things to people that, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, take everything I have so that I'll be safe. That is terrorism 101. They want your liberty. They want your freedom. They want to oppress your mind so that they can oppress you physically. How hard is that to understand out there? Charlie A. writes, and these are the same idiots who, when it comes to abortion and sodomy, holler, keep the government out of my uterus and keep the government out of the bedroom. Yes, we have created a monster that has tentacles in every single area of our lives, and it is called government. And the Founding Fathers told you that if you don't check government, if you don't make sure that government doesn't stay small, they are going to take everything away from you. It is politics 101. It is American heritage 101. It is just knowing your knowing this, how politics work and all this stuff. What is it going to take for you to get angry? What is it going to take for you to speak up? What is it going to take for you to stand up and stand your ground and be a man and not a giggling idiot and giving into the peer pressure of the idiot society that is around you that wants to giggle everything around you away? Ha ha ha, Matt. That's really funny that you think all of these things. It's not funny. You're going to be a slave one day if you don't wake up. Nobody likes to hear that, dude. And guess what? They're going to kill me like they killed the prophets and like they killed Jesus Christ, because when you speak the truth, people want to shut you up because of fear and ignorance. You are such a slave that, even the Egyptians, when they had Hebrews as slaves, when Moses led the Hebrews out of Egypt, some of the Hebrews stayed in Egypt and they wanted to be slaves. They felt comfortable as slaves. That is what you see in America today. Even though we got a great revolution of the mind going on today, even though people are waking up in droves today, you still got people that are like, no, I like being a slave. I like being asleep. Leave me alone, you fearmonger. Leave me alone, you hateful bigot. And it's like, it's like I'm just trying to warn you that you're going to trip over a rock, and you look at me and you get angry and say, shut up, fearmonger. When will it end? When will it end? It'll end when you grow some, I'm not going to even say that. That's too vulgar. It'll grow when you man up. When you man up, it'll change. But as long as you're an idiot and you want to be a wimp, it's never going to change. So there you have it. And if you don't like what I say, all right? No, I'm just kidding. God bless all of you.